What's up, guys? Callie here, coming at you with another Save the World tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about more advanced strategies for playing this game. You guys are starting to get into Plankerton and Canny Valley, and we were doing these XP events, so I wanted to give you guys some ideas and some of my opinions on how to use that extra XP. During this XP event, I've gained 10 levels in almost 2 weeks. Today we're going to be talking about survivor squads, we're going to talk about heroes, we're going to talk about leveling guns, and also a few extra things like the collection books, goals to work for, and what you guys should be doing when you log in and log out. So let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to talk about is survivors, and leveling up survivors, and then what to do with your survivor squads. So I'll be putting in video of me doing this on the fly as well as on my stream. But as far as survivors go, I like keeping all the legendary survivors around the same level and all my mythic survivors around the same level. And if anybody gets added, they get ramped. So you see that my new legendary survivor down here is at level 22. This is a brand new survivor. I haven't had a chance to level her up, and so my next big influx of XP is going to go into her. Then the rest of my survivors, you can see we got these guys at 4-star or 3 stars. They will eventually go to 4 stars. My mythics are mostly at 3 stars. They will eventually go to 4 stars as well. I don't use any XP on the epic survivors. I kind of leave them where they're at. And they become fill-in positions for places where I don't have legendary survivors already. So this is what you want to use your XP. You kind of want to keep everybody the same level, and then ramp your lower guys. Like, give these guys the extra XP. You'll also get to a point to where you'll evolve them. And so evolving them is taking these 2 stars and going to a 3-star. And you'll use this with pure drops of rain and lightning in a bottle. And so sometimes you might have to go into the loot store and you might have to purchase some of these extra items. So what's awesome about the events that we have going on right now is we have all this double XP for missions. And we're also getting rewards that are giving us lots of extra XP. So using, your survivor XP, I'm using it to increase, all of my lower guys. I'm trying to get them as high as my mythics. Where I'm going to use some of this XP on my mythics, I'm trying to ramp all my lower guys. So, there's a combination, there's a nice little balance that you want to use. But you always want to make sure you pay attention to your lowest level legendary survivors. And you want to make sure they get up to the same level as your higher end ones. So balance your XP use between your legendaries and your mythics. Like I said, I don't use XP on epics. And they're just fill-ins for positions, and we'll go into survivor squads very shortly. But this is what I do. You'll get to a situation where I'm in right now, where I actually have multiple people who are ready to be leveled up. And the next time I get a lot of pure drops of rain, I will come through and I'll do a lot of leveling. And you'll see in the upper left-hand corner your power bar. When you're doing these big evolutions of multiple survivors at one time, your power bar is going to jump up very quickly. So that is one of the first tips on getting your power level boosted quickly, is evolving and leveling up your survivors. The next tip I have is managing your survivor squads. So this is a big deal. When you go through your survivor squads, you want to get as many of these matches as possible. You want, it's like these personality matches, you want the bonuses, the secondary bonuses that your survivors give, you want to match those up as well. As you can see, I try to do leader matches and personality matches, but sometimes you can't help but slot in somebody who doesn't belong. So what I do is every couple of weeks while I'm playing, I will take an hour and I will come in here and I'll actually clear out, some of these squads that are a little mishmashed, and I will reset them and try to get back into them. You guys will see some video clips in here of me doing this, and just by spending that hour resetting your survivor squads, you guys can increase your power rating by, you know, a bar, even quarters of a bar. So these are broken down into 20%. Like going through your survivor squads, you will get that extra little piece of that bar just by making sure that we've got these matches. And even some of these that are slotted in, like you're not gonna have them all perfect right away, but it does increase the effectiveness of your squads the more of these matches that you get. So that's one of the big focuses. And I'm gonna drop some video of me doing this. I kind of do it on the fly now every once in a while when I get a couple of new survivors that I know I can slot in somewhere. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. Like, you want these personality matches, you want the leader matches. Like I said, sometimes it's not going to happen, but you do the best with what you have, and this will help get your power level up. Alright, next we're going to be talking about heroes. So with this event going on too, you're getting a lot of hero XP as well. You kind of have to decide which heroes you want to level up and what you want to do with them. So what you're looking for is heroes that are going to help you farm as well as give you extra bonuses. They're going to give you squad bonuses if you slot them together in your squads, and then also they're going to have these different abilities that'll help you in battle. So guys, there's 3 types of farming. You're going to want to do chest farming, you're going to want to do nuts and bolts and parts farming, and then you're also going to want to do materials farming. So you're going to want to pick heroes that are going to help you do this, as well as people who will benefit not only for squad bonuses but also their abilities in battle. So one of my favorite people to use for materials farming as well as nuts and bolts farming is Striker AC. He gets a 6% bonus for finding double loot, so this helps out in materials as well as when you're running around smashing cars with his anti-material charge. You will also be able to find double loot for parts as well as nuts and bolts, your efficient mechanical parts, your sturdy mechanical parts. He's going to help you find that with that perk. He also gets the anti-material charge, and he gets a special one, which is a reduction in the cost for the anti-material charge. It also deals excessive damage, so he's a big farmer for nuts and bolts as well as materials. So when it comes to chest farming, what you're going to want to look for is the Eagle Eye heroes. So those guys have a special ability which is called Keen Eyes. Anybody with Keen Eyes can do this, but it reveals containers. So when you're running around rooftops in populated areas, there'll be a green shadow, and you'll be able to see valuable objects within 2 tiles. So this really helps in visualizing chests, giving you the ability to find those extra containers that have the valuables in them. So really good hero if you're doing chest farming. She's going to be my next person that I end up leveling up. I've been looking for a chest farmer for a while, just happened to got her, and so I'm going to upgrade her to a legendary and kind of ramp her up just for that chest finding ability. Alright, next we're going to be talking about heroes that help you out in battle. So if you're looking to go into a battle and you got a group with you and you guys are a little low level, what I recommend is Constructor. They're able to use their base ability to help out your structures. So this is actually huge, and I've seen a lot of storm shields getting used with these constructors. Storm shield defenses. They use their base ability, they build a base, and it allows any enemies that are doing melee damage, they're going to get energy damage back at them. The attached structures gain 12% damage resistance. That's huge. You have other constructors that have extended abilities, so it extends out 3 segments from where it's placed, and this helps keep your structure solid, keep it intact. Gives everybody else in the group the ability to not have to worry so much about the structure getting damaged. Big boost to building abilities as well as having a constructor in your group. Just one of those ideas. That's why I have a constructor who's leveled up high enough to be active in my squads. The next type of hero that I want to talk about is ninjas. They're really good for close quarter combat. The crescent kicks and shadow stances. This ninja also does throwing stars as well as kunais. You know, really good mobility, really good. They get the extra increase for using melee weapons such as swords. So this is another good, you know, type of hero to have in your battles. I love hardcore Outlanders as well. So Outlander like Ragnarok is very good in a battle, using the shock tower as well as the anti-material charge together. The shock tower does, you know, connection damage. So the next one I'm going to talk about is soldiers. If you guys like medium to long range weaponry and, you know, tactical fighting, these guys are awesome. You know, you get advanced tactics, which, you know, any ranged weapon gets increased by 10%. It's a big buff. You also get the frag grenade ability, and, you know, these frag grenades are pretty deadly. And the big ability, Going Commando, bringing out that giant minigun. The Going Commando ability is good for smashing llamas as well. So if you have an Outlander in the group and they pick up llama shards, you could use Going Commando to smash those llamas. Another good thing, you know, to use in a group. I'm not a huge fan of range combat. I like close quarter combat, which is why I have a tendency for ninjas as well as Outlanders. They're a little bit more close quarter combats, but having a soldier in the group is very beneficial. That ranged attack and being able to throw out those frag grenades and do that big Going Commando is a big ability. So they're very good to have in your squad as well. Alright, next I'm going to be talking about leveling guns. You guys want to keep your guns at the level you are kind of at. You don't want to ramp your guns up too high. Like a great example is I was in Plankerton and I was creating weapon schematics for 82s, and in Plankerton it's really hard to find malachite. So I was creating these 82 schematics, but I was having a hard time crafting them because I have, you know, you can't find malachite in Plankerton. This is Canny Valley, you know, ore. So you really want to keep your guns at the level that you're at. If you're in Stonewood, you want to keep your guns in the copper range, not going over, you know, level 34. If you're in Plankerton, you want to keep them at the silver range, not going over level 48. If you're in Canny, you want to keep them at the malachite range. You want to keep, you know, below or at 82. This will just give you an opportunity to craft more of them as you're increasing your guns levels. And then once you get out of Canny into Twine, then you can start creating some 106s. I'm not quite in Twine yet, but I do stream a majority of the time, so I like the ability to give away 106s. And I do get gifted quite often the parts to craft these. So I like keeping some 106s. Like, I'm on that verge of Canny and Twine, where I have the ability to still kind of craft these weapons. So that's why I only have 2 of them. These are gonna get this Hydra's gonna get ramped up to an 82 and gonna stay there. I'm gonna ramp a couple of other guns up to 58. But yeah, keep your guns at the level that you're at. You don't want to stretch them out too far and then not be able to craft them. It's a good, you know, leveling guns is a good use of XP. But once you level them over where you're at, where your missions are, you won't have the items available to craft them. So just a little tip for leveling guns there. Also, we got reperk and perk up abilities as well as increasing the rarity. So you could use legendary flux. You can find this in the store, and you can also get it in missions. But you can take some of these epic schematics and you can turn them into legendary schematics just by using the flux on them. This also goes for, you know, schematics that are rare can get increased to epic. Just by using Epic Flux. So you guys can find that in missions as well as in the stores. If you guys have trouble, you know, finding these legendary schematics, you can turn epic schematics into legendary schematics. Very beneficial to know. And also, using perk ups. So we can modify perk, and we have these things called re-perk as well as perk up. You do collect these in missions as well as in the store, and you can change the elements that you're at, or you can increase them, you know, to a higher, you know, you can increase it from epic to legendary perk. And so that's when people start talking about god roll perks. It means they're all gold, they're all, you know, legendary perks. You can change this epic perk, as you know, change it to epic perk. But yeah, that's what perk up's all about. I'll throw some videos in this tutorial, show you guys how I use perk up. I like using that on the fly as well. There's some guns that I already know are gonna get perked up. You know, I'm usually using this on my high-end guns as well. So you'll see that's how I get all these rolls higher up like that. And don't forget, if you guys are ever running low on any of the perk up or anything for these guns, you know, even for evolutions, you can find a lot of this stuff in the loot store. So you can come through, and if I wanted, you know, if I needed more uncommon perk up, I could purchase it. If I needed more rare perk up, I could purchase it. So I like storing my gold and, you know, kind of figuring out what I'm going to do with it. And then, as you can see, I spend it all at once. So I went through a big upgrade session last night. So yeah, we're limited on gold until we start playing a little bit today. Alright guys, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the collection book. And the collection book is super useful, not only for the rewards you get, and I'm so close to Raid Raptor right now, I might even go and slot some stuff just to get him. Just one of the best soldiers in the game, you guys check him out. But level 100, you get that Raid Raptor. But a couple of cool things, every time you slot, you get rewards. So it's another big deal. You can see, you know, these trap designs, weapon designs, as well as Survivor XP. They give away llamas as well. But the biggest thing is once you get your collection book high enough, you can do what's called researching schematics. So you can come in here, and without having the legendary schematic slotted, I could do what's called research schematic. And this does take weapon designs in the legendary flux. But I don't have to work to get the schematic. I can actually just research it, and it'll give me a copy of the schematic. So then I can level it up, ramp it up. It's still going to be level 20. It's going to be low level. But this is one of the best ways to get some of those legendary guns that you guys just can't get a hold of the schematics. So this is another one that I could research by having the other one slotted in. I could also research the Husk Buster for another 30 legendary flux. I can get that, or the Hunter Killer. Oof. It's still going to be level 20, like I said, and you know, but that's such a huge deal. You could also do it for heroes as well. If you come in here and find a hero, you could recruit the hero, but you have to use that flux again. So if there's heroes that you haven't quite gotten a hold of that you really want to try as well, slot in some of their lower guys and then get on that research train, or recruit if you're doing it for heroes, research if you're doing it for weapons. But that is huge, incredibly huge. And another thing is you can find that flux in the store. I've probably bought all of it. Yeah, epic flux and legendary flux, I bought it all already. This is some of the stuff you do with that. But huge benefit for the collection book, if you guys didn't know about that. Very, very useful. Alright guys, the next thing I'm going to talk about is everybody should have a goal for this game. Like, you should have goals that you're working towards. It kind of keeps you entertained, keeps you involved. Have weapon schematics that you want to ramp up. You know, if you get dropped a truckload of XP, or you complete a mission and you get rewards and you know you can go upgrade that gun, it helps keep you focused, helps keep you on track when it comes to, you know, playing the game. Have a hero goal, like which hero is going to be your next hero that you want to upgrade. Me personally, I keep one hero goal, I keep one survivor goal, and I keep one schematic goal. And in the beginning, when I start playing every single time, I keep that in mind. It's in the back of my head. I know which survivor I want to level up. I know which hero I want to level up. So she's going to be my survivor that I'm going to level up today. My hero that I'm going to level up, I've been working on soldiers. So I might level up a low-level soldier. I might level up a high-level soldier. But I have that always in the back of my mind. You know, if you have guns that are ready to be evolved, you know, you keep that in the back of your mind. It's goals for you to set, and you know, sometimes you can get 40 or 50 pure drops of rain and a bunch of lightning in the bottle in one play session. So in the back of your mind, you can have that goal ready to go for when you get ready to log out. Do your log out routine, you know, your login routine, but always have those goals in the back of your mind. The last thing I'm going to be talking about today is have a login and a log out routine. My login routine is I'll check anything with an exclamation mark. I'll go through and I'll check quests, see if there's any new quests available, something else for me to do. I almost do this now without even thinking about it. Like when you log in, you have you're going to go check your quest page. You're going to go check your armory, and you're also going to want to check your expedition squads. And for log out, I want to send out as many expeditions as possible. I want to use my heroes and, kind of track and see. I love crafting supplies, and I love supply caches. They tend to be a little more high-end. But they also give you buffs. You get slot bonuses for these. They have a tendency to be a little bit harder, just because they give up so many rewards. But if you're missing survivors, go for the survivor cache. If you need stone or traps, you go for those as well. But send those out every time you log out. It's going to be, this mission is going to take 16 hours to do. So if you're going to be away for a long time, missions, send expedition squads, send them all out, send your heroes back. Even if you fail on a mission, your hero is going to come back to you, so there's really no risk in sending out these squads. I also check my skill trees. You gain these research skill points, these research points over time, so you also want to check those when you log in as well as logging out. See, I've collected some research points. I could actually unlock some stuff if I really wanted to. But yeah, have a routine that you do every time you log in, log out, and eventually if you do it long enough, it'll just be second nature to you. Right when you log on, you'll do it, and then when you're logging off or getting close to shutting down. As far as when it comes to logging out, those expedition squads can be very beneficial, and it's basically like a little surprise. Every time you log back on, you never know which one of your expedition squads have been completed. It's also another good reason to level up some of your extra heroes. You don't really want to get rid of them. They're very beneficial for those expedition squads. That's what you use them for. So thank you guys for checking out this video today. I appreciate it. If you like the content of this video, please hit that like button. If you like the content of this channel, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell, which will notify you every time I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. Hope you have a great day.